Chapter 1. The Commitment Premium. What is commitment and how is it more powerful and sustainable than control? Departure. As I was about to board a plane recently, I glanced through the window of the jetway and saw a member of the ground crew leaning far into the engine on the aircraft's left wing. I found myself strongly hoping that the individual conducting this inspection had a growth mindset. If they did, I knew they would go beyond the routine tick-box exercise for the safety check. I knew that they'd be able to not only identify old problems, but also notice emerging, unforeseen ones. Essentially, they'd be a curious, creative human problem solver rather than a machine that could work only with the parameters of its existing knowledge. When working through a safety checklist, a safety inspector requires absolute focus to shut out all distractions. But they also need to be curious, alert, and attentive to anomalies, abnormalities, and the unexpected. To details not captured by a standardized procedure. In a complex work environment where having a growth mindset is the norm, going off script when necessary is actively encouraged. People feel able to respond and adapt to contextual changes and nuance, to be a proactive problem solver and interact with others and smart machines to get a second opinion. An inspector with a growth mindset wouldn't be deferential to hierarchy or process, but would feel enabled to speak up, to question and challenge other ground and flight crew. Raising concerns and flagging issues, even when delaying the flight if they felt it was necessary. I realised that my safety and my fellow passengers' safety depended in part on the mindset of this inspector and their colleagues. Without a growth mindset, there's more risk, more room for error and omission. Bracing for impact and trying to put on my life jacket in preparation for a water landing is not on my bucket list. Watching this individual at work, though, inspired trust and confidence. I stepped onto the plane convinced that I'd seen a dolphin in action, confident that I wouldn't be wrestling with the life jacket today. Dolphin, I hear you ask. Metaphors are a great way to communicate complex ideas, like growth mindset in big organisations. Animals are particularly useful because, like so many other aspects of the natural world, they're familiar and usually inspire us. They can also make us laugh, especially when we see some element of our own behaviour in theirs. The dolphin. Dolphins are smart, agile, dynamic creatures. They work collaboratively in often dangerous, invariably complex, competitive environments. They play together to reinforce social bonds and communicate constantly, whistling while they work. They're perceived as friendly and approachable, but they're no pushover, no easy touch. They have sharp teeth. When I was growing up, I often visited a pod of dolphins at Monkey Mia in Western Australia, one of the only places in the world where wild dolphins choose to interact with humans. I've loved them from the first time I looked into their deep, intelligent eyes. I also count Flipper, a TV series from the 1960s, as one of my favourite American shows. Imagine a sleek cartoon dolphin standing upright on its tail, gazing directly at us with wide, bright eyes and a bit of a grin. In the Safe to Great model, dolphins are leaders who choose growth rather than protection, particularly when facing adversity and challenge. Dolphins have personal strength, but they also build strong, inclusive pods, leveraging relational potential to deliver results that far exceed those of leaders with a protective mindset. And of course, they fight off sharks.